Hello, dear ones. We're coming to an understanding of what's going on leading up to this, that you are experiencing now. When this path really began in earnest, and you would find yourself searching and searching and searching and accessing any information you could to put things in perspective, because you already were receiving concepts that are understood by your divinity, and you were trying to make them to fit into the knowledge that you had, and it was coming out awkward. And that is why you kept searching and searching and pulling the pieces together to try to bring divinity into where you were. And you accomplished it very well. There were many that listened to the information that you were able to compile and put it together in a way that they were unfamiliar with. And it brought in light to them. And you tried, and you can let that go, because you did what you could do in that very, very dark place. With lots of, there are lots of, not cords, snares. There were lots of snares and booby traps, and it was very difficult to move around. And you were able to find paths, and you were able to help others to see glimmers of light of their own divinity, even within that situation. But as that situation there is a closing in. There is a closing in that is happening everywhere. It is more pronounced on Earth and more noticed on, not just Earth, also the vicinity. It's more pronounced in this particular vicinity. There is a closing in that is taking place, and it is necessary to take place. It has become obvious and clear to everyone that the closing in of ranks is occurring. The closing in of ideas are occurring, so that you can see clearly what those ideas, concepts, philosophies are, beliefs. Closing in of the ranks pulls it together so that you clearly see it. When it is more dispersed, and you could make excuses, you could rationalize. The closing in will continue to get more pronounced. You will see tribe mentality, though it's not really tribe, but as an idea that some may understand. I guess tribe would work, but it is the closing in of the ideas. They're coalescing into denser and denser sphere blobs, sort of. But they are pulling in, so that we can see that they are clearly and be able to not be as they coalesce. Those who are more deeply entangled in these particular concepts, philosophies, ideas, will at first become more tangled within them, because the tangles of these philosophies have gotten very entangled with the souls themselves. And they will feel a sense of agitation and of not being able. What do you call it? It's like a stubbornness, but it's not really stubborn. It's a determination to defend these philosophies and ideas, and it will be in all of the ways in which these concepts that are not of divinity, but were played with concepts and thoughts and ideas, these will become more evident more clear. And as the parts that are more deeply entwined into their souls, your soul, not simply the soul, the ego cells are going into overdrive and defending. That is what you are seeing now. It will continue, it will get stronger, and it will get stronger, so that there are no more, so that all of them are clearly seen for what they are. It is a time to be very careful about issuing strong condemnation for recognize what these are, these philosophies, these concepts, these ideas that have been deeply entrenched. Recognize it, and if you need to do a little anger fight pushing away to get yourself clear and out of them, that is okay. That is okay. Anger is not necessarily in of itself a bad thing. It gives you the energy to change something. It gives you that really good strong burst of energy to change something that needs to be changed, that is not beneficial. So some anger is okay. It's right. It's fine. But once you can get clear of it, the anger can lessen. You do not have to hold on to and maintain the anger towards it. Recognize that it is just a philosophy, and philosophies are not real. So therefore, you do not have to continue to fight against them, because they are not real. Real is souls, divinity, that which is of God essence. That's real. All the patterns that were put forth in the explorations, though interesting, are not real, and therefore do not have to continually be fought against once you clear yourself out of them. And in fact, your continued fighting against them will provoke a defensive mechanisms for those that are still within it, and they will not be able to see clearly because they're spending too much time defending these philosophies and ideas that they cannot see clearly where they are at. So, and this is actually something that is not the person that has lived in this experience here is much more inclined to want to protest battles, go into the fray. That is her inclination, and that is not, you might say, is a condensing of who she truly is, but she has gotten caught up in some of that experience. That is the fluff. And so what we are bringing forth is not necessarily what she wants to hear, even herself. Stand in your divinity, stand in your truth, stand in love. When you get clear of, you may need anger to get you out of it. But once you're out of it, stay clear of it. Do not try to go back and pull others out. Because as you try to pull them out, they're only going to start pull against you and stay in their darkness longer and become more. They will not want to admit when they do see what it is, because they will feel that it becomes about, there's a big thing on earth of fighting for and against. It is like really, really, is part of everything. It is, you've taken this to the most extreme element, so that everyone is fighting for something and against something. And they're willing to do whatever they can to fight for and against. And they can't see where they are. And if you get yourself free, you recognize you're caught in one of these. She is seeing them like spheres with lots of tangles in them. And once you get yourself out, use whatever means you need to get out of them. But once you're out of them, just be free from them. and stand in your divinity and be light and be yourself and just be at peace. Those that are still in it, if they just see you at peace, but you're not trying to convince them, they may begin to see the difference themselves and make their own choices and paths to get out. Now, if someone is trying to get out and say, hey, can you help me out? That's completely different. Yes, go for it. But do not overwhelm them. Give them just the aid that they're asking for. And let them do it their own processes, their own path, in their own way. Because if they begin to see that you're pulling them, they will instinctively pull back the other direction and suck themselves back into it. And then they will start defending the very thing they started to pull away from. So we're going to use an example of something that is in the area in which Tom lives and where she has spent the majority of this particular life. It is the Deep South. We have given her a very, very ancestral background so that she is not of only just one thing, but it's very diversified. One part of her background is deeply of her, not her background, but the genetic family in which she has been raised with and around was of the Deep South, deep Southern, long Southern family. Strong Confederate ties. She grew up seeing near Fort Sumter. She heard the stories. The idealized ideas of it. But at the same time, she also grew up with a multiracial extended family from the time she was very young. So therefore, she experienced both things simultaneously. But strangely enough, there was not necessarily a pulling between the different sides because it was, she didn't realize there was differences yet because this is all she knew. So growing up with a multiracial extended family, she saw all, and in the religious organization in which she was around, it was also heavily multiracial and seen as equal. And so therefore she saw everyone from the time she was young as she did not see the differences and understand the differences other than just, okay, this one has curly hair, that one has straight hair. But she didn't see anything more beyond just that. It's just something surface. But she is aware of the idea of cultural pride. But she sees it as like a side floof, not overly. She understands how people can enjoy having a cultural heritage. But she also understands that though at some point it may just, I want to be who I truly am because I recognize my culture is and the good qualities of it, that it's been usurped and become something different. There was a show many years ago done by Oprah Winfrey in which she invited racists to come to the show. And there was an opening and a discussion done in a very positive manner to allow the racists to see people, to see others. And you have a right and you should stand up and break free and say, no, we're not going to take this anymore, because there are powers that have taken advantage of people and continue on and manipulate to continue their oppression of the masses. And you should stand up against that and not allow that and not go along with that. But if you fight against them, see, that's the difference. If you fight, then it only triggers them to fight in response. And when they are fighting, their minds are closed. Their vision is tunnel, and they will not change. They will not see. And if they do even begin to see something, they cannot admit it, because then they feel they are betraying themselves, their cultures, their family, and they cannot do that. So they will shut down any twinges of their own divinity. So the question is, well, should these symbols that cause harm be allowed to remain? Shouldn't we remove them? Yes, they should be removed, but you cannot force them. And she herself does not like that. But it is, my dear, you cannot force them. You've seen this. As soon as you try to force them, the more determined they are to hold on. It's just a natural reaction of those, I would say on earth, but it's not. Force does not work. Force has never worked in any situation. It is always short term. And always, as soon as the force is let up at all, and in a little bit, the reverberation in the opposite direction is profound. Force does not work. That is why Earth has been so filled with revolutions and battling and fighting and constantly. Because you go in and force people to do one thing one way, and then as soon as you let up just a little bit, they'll push back the other way. And they're constantly pulling and tugging and pulling and tugging and pulling. My dears, it is not a tug of war for everything. And with tug of war, what happens with tug of war? Think about this clearly and picture it clearly. Tug of war. You're all doing tug of war. And there's both sides have a lot of people pulling, tugging, pulling, tugging. But what usually truly happens to both sides when you're doing tug of war? As soon as one side falls down, then the other side who was pulling, they also fall down. Very few can hold their ground in stability while you're doing tug of war. There is no way once tug of war has begun that you can maintain your stability. The only way you can maintain your stability is to let go of the rope and walk away and just stand separate. No one ever wins in tug of war. Your stability is always knocked off kilter. And it does not matter how many more inches this rope was pulled in one direction before you all lost your stability. You all lost your stability. You all fell over. That is how it goes, constantly. And you're constantly picking the rope back up and tugging again. And then you all fall down. And then you get back up and you do it again and again and again and again. And this doesn't work. Just stand up, walk away from the rope, and just stand in your divinity. Have your fun. And then maybe someone else will say, oh, why am I sitting here pulling and falling over, pulling and falling over? I think I'll go over there and do my thing. And eventually the groups that are pulling and tugging will get smaller and smaller. And and once again, tug of war. You will always lose your stability on either side. And nothing is ever won or really lost. Just get up, walk away from the rope. Stand in your divinity, have your fun, have your light. And you think, but if I don't do this, things are going to get worse. No. Someone who stands in the divinity does not acquiesce. And if someone tries to force them, they're like, no, I'm not going to acquiesce. Then I will kill you and I will use force. And I will put a rope around you and do tug of war with you. Don't pick up the rope. Don't pick up the rope. They cannot destroy you. They cannot make you do anything. They have used the separation in a way that we are not happy about. They have used the separation to convince you that if you do not do things this way, they will make you not exist. Or they have used pain. They have found that pain is a good manipulator and tool. Instead of it being the beautiful, wonderful thing that it was created for. as to help us to recognize what's going on. They use it as a tool to control. In your divinity, there is no jail they can put you in. In your divinity, you are immensely powerful. And they say, oh, we are more powerful. No, they are not. They are very, 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 very weak. Because if you are using force to control someone, you cannot be standing in your divinity. If you are not standing in your divinity, you do not have access to your divinity. If you do not have access to your divinity, you do not have access to true power. Because true power is in complete balance with love and truth. It cannot be otherwise. Do not fight. Do not fight. Do not pick up the rope. Stand in your divinity. I know it sounds simple. And it can't be that simple, but it is. It truly is. All the fighting that you have in your own life, with your own selves, with your family, with the people around you, with the person in the checkout line, with the person you drive by, all this fighting, this tugging and tugging, you cannot get stable. You're falling and constantly falling and just be quiet, pull away, let go of the ropes. As soon as you realize there's a rope, let it go. Breathe, connect, stand in your divinity. And sometimes someone tries to say, you have to pull this rope. No, I don't. No, I don't. Whenever anybody starts using rationalization, let me reason with you as to why this is important. No, you don't. Stand in your divinity. Whenever anyone says, if you don't go along with this, bad things will happen. No, it won't. Stand in your divinity. A person who stands in their divinity is always kind and loving and light and hope and truth and strong. And you will always be able to recognize someone who stands in their divinity. Now, they may be quirky and weird, and you may not always be just like them or like the way they're doing it, but you will still see their divinity because they will be honest. They will be kind. You will see it in their eyes. You will see it in their eyes. They'll be sincere. They will have this power. Not the power what you call power there, which is pushing and shoving. No, they have a quiet power. Think of yes, I want you to think this is a good one. Think of a preschool or kindergarten teacher. They call her a teacher, but she's not really. Just someone who can inspire the children. That inspires the children. Not one who takes the children follow the rules, not that one. But the one who the children, she will sing a song and she will play an instrument and the children just, everything she wants that she tells the children about. The children want to follow and participate and bring into it. And she encourages individuality. And let's try this. And the kids follow her around and they just love her. Oh yes. That is power. That is power. When you see that power, that is power. Not this, do what I say or I'm going to cause you somebody harm. That is weakness. Because if you have to resort to threats, then you have nothing. Because truth is always strong. Truth is always strong. You don't have to. It's just strong. Lies are always weak and have to use something else to convince you to go along with it. There's going to be adjustment, and it's going to be messy. Do not be afraid of the messy. Do not be panicked about the messy. It's going to be messy. There's a lot of cleaning house. A lot of cleaning house. When you're cleaning house, as you clean, do a good, thorough, deep cleaning of the house. And this is a house that needs deep, thorough cleaning. You have to pull everything out. You have to pull out and find all the dirty spots. So it's going to be messy. And there's going to be times when you feel very unsettled because something you didn't even realize you were holding on to, a rope, will jiggle and you'll say, oh no, I'm unsettled again. You're unsettled again because you were pulling against something. When you see that you have a rope you're pulling onto, an idea, a thought, a belief, a group, whatever it is. Oh, I'm holding on to another rope. Let me set this one down. And as more people do this, things will smooth out and you will experience something that has not been experienced in this way. Now, I'm going to say ever. Because some will say, oh, but what about Atlantis? Or what about Lemuria? Or what about... Even then, what's this going to be experienced has never been experienced. Because... No, it's just never been experienced. It is not going to be like that. Why would we go backwards and go like that? It's not going to be a society like that. What is that term? Heaven on earth. We're going to be moving to heaven on earth. And I know that there are many that say, oh, it's going to be going to 5D. And there are other 5D societies. So we're going to find out what those 5D societies are. And we're going to be like that. No. That is not what's going to happen. Oh, no. She says no. No, it's not what's going to happen. Why would we do that? That's already been done. We are not going to do this. We are not going to take you, we'll take you to 5D and then 6D. And you're going to follow the pattern like all the other patterns before. Why would we do the same pattern again? That would make no sense. There's no purpose behind that. To repeat the same things over and over again when they haven't worked? No, we're not doing that. We're doing something different. We wanted to bring divinity to the farthest realms, to the farthest reaches in a new and different way. And that is what we are going to do. It's not going to be other cultures that have experienced 5D, 6D, 7D, 11D, 12D. It's not going to be that. You're not taking that path. You're humans of Earth. You have never followed the path the way others do. And that is not going to change now. Everyone who has chosen to come to Earth experiences the diversity and the experiences are only of Earth. And it is beautiful and wondrous and chaotic. And wow. And not everyone can handle that. So you are not going to be taking the path that others have taken in their ascensions. Yours is different, as it should be. It is going to be a new expression of divinity in a way that has not been expressed before, in a diversity that has not been expressed before. And you're not going to have these leaders all constantly organizing. You're going to organize in a divine way. Divine organization. You're not going to do step, step, step. How my dear, you are not steps. You are hit the ground running. It's going to be chaotic and messy and loud. And when the divinity haboob hits, it's going to be beautiful chaos. And you're going to figure things out quickly. And your divinity is going to connect in a beautiful way. And you'll get it. You'll get it and boom, it's going to be, whoa. And it's going to happen. And everyone is going to marvel. How did they do that quickly? How did they do that quickly? Because that is who you are. That is who you are. You are beautiful explosions of divinity, and it's light, and it's wonderful, and it's going to be so fantastic. And you have no idea. No one has any idea. None of the other dimensions have any idea. They cannot conceive of what is about to happen. They cannot conceive of it. God has conceived of it. He has conceived of it. And it is so fantastic. He says, okay, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to just directly just get in here and fix this. And when God fixes something, oh, it is wonderful. Big bang. But like a big bang, you have no idea. It's going to be wonderful. Yes, chaotic. Yes, unbelievable. Yes, fast. Changes, dramatic, fast, quick, unbelievable. Connections. It is going to be fantastic and light. And so, to get there, it's going to happen. But to get there and really be able to have fun with it. Stand in your divinity, which is your connection directly to God, the source of the light. And then as everything moves forward, and it will move forward, when it moves forward, it's going to be slow, seems slow, aching, pulling, tugging, and then it's going to go whoosh. And then the after is going to be whoosh. It is not going to be building up societies and figuring. It is going to be whoosh. And you're going to love it. And all of those cultures and societies which have done their own slow, careful, methodical processes of ascension are going to look at you and be like, what on earth has happened? How on earth could they be there? That's like nothing we've ever seen before, nothing we've ever... And you, my dear ones, will bring this explosion of light and wonder throughout all of creation is go whoosh, because they've all been holding back a little bit in their own unique way. And you're going to say, nope, we're just going to do it. We're just going to explode in such marvelous ways. Oh, the light of it. Oh, the color of the expansion. The expansion. It is like Big Bang. It is like a Big Bang. And inspiration. Oh, the inspiration. So quick, so fast. Boom. It is so beautiful. We see it. We see it. It is so beautiful. And you're going to be so, wow. How what is going on now will be like, you will not even remember, like, you'll be like, what? We did that? Why did we do that? Oh, well. And you're just going to keep going on. You're just going to be explosions of, and it's just going to keep going and growing. And then it's such an expansive way. It'll be, yes. Okay, we see it now. We're seeing it clearly. God is so funny. He saw it. He knew what he was doing, but he was giving us just hints, until he was getting more ready, getting more pieces into play. He is so funny. We are seeing more of it now. We did not see this before. We thought, oh, he's going to help them, and they're going to do better, and they're going to be, like 5D. Ha ha ha! Yes. No, it's not that. It cannot even be called a D. The whole concept of dimensions like that is going to be different. It's going to be, everything is going to change. Wow, it's going to be so much fun. Oh, we are so excited now. We're so excited now. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so. Now we don't want to wait. You're not very patient either. Oh, okay, but then that must mean, okay, he is keeping it still as a surprise. But we are now seeing more, so that must mean he's not going to hold it off. He must be getting closer. I cannot tell you in time-wise, but he is working it out. Oh, my dear ones, it is so beautiful. You are so beautiful. It's going to be so wonderful. Thank you. Because only because of this path did God make this choice. Only because of this choice is this light going to shine in a way it has never shone before. Anywhere, everywhere. It is funny because there was some of from your perspective of, they call themselves higher dimensions, who've been very, very, been working at this for a very long time. And you're going to blow them away. I don't mean negatively, but in like as in inspiration and openness, and all the little quirky constraints are going whoosh. She's like, oh, it's going to feel so wonderful. It's going to feel so wonderful. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the light. So I am very happy. We are very happy. We've all just, okay, as this is being explained and the information is being spread out, we're all getting very excited. We're all getting very excited. We were so much on the methodics of fixing all the healing, and it's like, oh, that's what he's going to do. Okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. Just right now, for your part, just set down the ropes. Set down all the tugging, all the pulling, all the fighting. Just set it down. Just stand in your divinity. Do things that make you laugh. Things that spread joy. And then you'll be ready. You'll be ready. It's going to be so wonderful. It's going to be so wonderful. Love, my children. Divinity, stand in your divinity. You are so bright. So, so, so bright.